Okay, hello, good morning. Uh, I'm a little bit tired today. I'm part of this podcast. It's a Norwegian podcast, but it's like about JavaScript. And we had our 50th episode yesterday with like a quiz show and a few beers. I was a little bit late, a little bit happy. Yeah, so I'm a bit tired. So hopefully my brain works. Yes, I got some comments yesterday. I haven't been able to like go through them because I was at the podcast yesterday and I slept in a little bit this morning. But there were a few comments, like 3 different comments. So if you go on the previous video, there are some really nice comments there related to what we were doing last time. If you want to look at that. Yes, so where were we? I think we fixed a thing in Overmind. So let's try to install the latest version because we were fixing the typing. And then Overmind React. Let's see what happens. Oh, I was supposed to bring up the network. Yeah, because I think I have to oh, is it? Let me just try to restart the extension host this time. Let's see if that works. Okay, let's try to refresh the browser. Let's see. We did actually, related to the typings not updating when I'm installing a new package, we found an optimization in Code Sandbox. It's not implemented yet, but like you won't even notice it, but it's nice. Like we will do one less request when we grab the typings. I do wonder why it doesn't pick up them. This has been an issue. Every time we have updated a package typing, it doesn't pick it up in Code Sandbox, which is really annoying. This time maybe we did something. Oh, okay, I guess we did something wrong here. Let's see if it even deployed it. Let's see. Fix typing of transition and matches state. Okay, so maybe there's something. Oh. Oh, sorry. It was actually. Oh, now we didn't actually get to check it. Maybe it was working all the time. This is, of course, authenticated. Not authenticating. We're transitioning into authenticated. Okay, maybe this was actually working. I couldn't. Yeah, that's why the app didn't work either. Oh, stupid. Anyways, okay, so I guess we're back to where we were. We fixed the typing here, which is awesome. And I guess we can jump into this. Yeah, I want to figure out why, like, the size of this app is there's supposed to be like a maximum width there. And for some reason that doesn't work. I got some feedback on like doing like using a UI library to not spend so much time on styling, because I'm not good at it. But I really want to try out Stitches, like actually use it and see how it feels. So yeah, we're gonna do that. But what I want is, and it's a nice thing to talk about, because as like front-end or doing front-end development is it's like the complexity of managing state, like doing okay, I have to be careful what I say here, but often backend developers kind of, they don't understand the complexity of doing front-end work, because backend work is typically stateless. Like, especially when building APIs, it's stateless, which means that just there, it's so much simpler. But when you're on the front end, you have to manage all this state complexity, which is just like an insane amount of complexity. And on top of that, you also have to understand like 3 different kinds of languages. You have to know HTML, all the accessibility stuff, like all the attributes, what they do, how the browser interprets them. And then you have CSS, which I don't even have to talk about the complexity of CSS. And then you have JavaScript, like a programming language more related to what you do on the back end. So you kind of have to manage all of this stuff. And that's kind of crazy. Like when we just build websites and we use JavaScript for like just jQuery, like fade in, fade out and stuff. Yeah, maybe you could do everything. But with the complexities of the stuff we build today, you can't be an expert in all of those fields. You just can't. It's not possible. So I think it's important that we kind of acknowledge that. For example, at Code Sandbox, I do mostly state management stuff. And Sarah and Sid, my colleagues, they do more components and implementing, ensuring accessibility and all that stuff, because it's a ton of work. And they are really good at that. And I'm not. I'm more like the TypeScript state management guy. And I'm perfectly fine with that because I find that super motivating. But yeah, let's move along here, because I wanted this thing here to be like max width 700 pixels, but for some reason I'm not getting a max width on this thing, and I don't know why. Is it because I have a width? Oh, I thought max width would override width. Doesn't it do that? Oh, there we are. Oh, sorry. So we do have... Oh, it's the button. Yeah, it's the button. It's fixed. How do we fix that? Should we make it absolute instead? Oops. Absolute. And then we have to make sure that our container is relative. Position relative. I'm loving the typing on the with stitches. You don't have the traditional object syntax like this, and the reason is basically because like the typing experience is so much better when you do. Like when you dot into stuff and you call methods, it's way more comfortable. Like the development experience is way more comfortable. And actually it's more performant as well, because we don't have to go through this object and figure out what they're doing. We're just handling each method call. So it's faster in that sense. Yes. Cool. Yeah, now the button follows the thingy. That's nice. That's super nice. Okay, so what we want is to change the page when we click that button. Or not change the page, we want to change the state of the app. And what we need to be able to do that is to expose an action. So yeah, we might add some routing here later, but for now we're just going to change the state. So let's create an action that says something like open add backlog item page screen. Let's use screen, that's nice. Or we could maybe we could do, yeah. Let's try something. Open screen. And then we can do state, and we have to type it. So what we can get here is at least add backlog item. I wonder if it will understand this. Let's see, screen. And then we can say return state transition, and then screen. Yeah, oops, it's an async action. keep forgetting that. Yeah, that's working. TypeScript is happy as well. Okay, so now we're moving into that screen. The question is, do we want to do something explicit with each screen? And we might want to do that. And in that case, I would rather do like switch screen. And then I would like return transition explicitly for each screen. And then I would write the logic for what is going to happen when we switch into the screen. But for now, we can just do this. By the way, there was something really weird with the stream last time. There was like some kind of jank on my on the video. I thought about restarting my computer. I didn't do that, but hopefully it works better now. And if it doesn't, I'll make sure I'll restart my computer for tomorrow's stream. Cool. So we have, we're transitioning to a screen where we currently allow add backlog item. And then we, of course, need to find our button. Let's see, home. Okay, so when we click this button, we want to call the action. So let's say actions, use actions. And when we click it, we call actions, open screen, and now this is beautifully typed. Sweet. Okay, and add backlog item. Do we have something here? We have a container. Let us add a backlog item. Okay, so I guess we this should just work now. Let's see. No, it didn't work. Maybe I had to refresh. Yeah, it didn't react to the click. Let's see. Nothing happened. Set state. Oh, sorry. Of course. Our app is currently just returning home when we're authenticated. But we want to actually based on the state. So if state auth matches, oops, not auth, sorry, matches home, then we want to return home. And maybe we can do like invalid page, just to kind of remind us that we're in a state we haven't prepared for. And then if the state matches add backlog, oops, add backlog item, we add backlog log item. Can't you find it? Okay, let me help you. From add backlog item. Cool. Okay, so let's try again. There we are. Now it changes to that page. Yes. And personally, I'm way more comfortable working with the apps this way. Like what I'm talking about now is routing. So, because now we have like a state-driven page system, and we can do whatever we want there. If we wanted nice transitions, we could just add that here. So whenever we kind of return a new page, we could wrap it in some animation stuff, and we would have normal transitions. And it doesn't look any different than any other transition code. If I need to run some logic, let's see. If I need to run some logic when I change the page, I can just do that here. And I can even do some logic first and then do the transition. Like I can control everything. It's just state management. It's not a special routing concept. And then to actually trigger based on a route change, I just add a router like as an effect, and then I'll map a certain route to a certain action, and then it just works. I didn't have to think about routing and integrate it into my component system and depend on the API exposed to do the different transitions and data fetching and all that. And even here, I have access to all the params in all the different actions, and I can store them wherever I want in the state tree. And it's just, yeah, for me, state first routing is just, it makes so much more sense than doing routing from inside the components. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but I think that is because I haven't tried it. But that's like my assumption, and I might upset some people saying that. What were we doing? Yes, we were changing the page. Maybe we should continue on that page then. What we want is, I guess we want to move back as well. So our transition thingy here should also have the home. Oops, big letters, home. It's kind of cool, like when I had lowercase, it starts screaming at me. So it kind of ensures that this actually works. Yes, so let's add like a back thingy. Let's see here. By the way, I wrote up a suggestion. Like in Code Sandbox, we do something called cycles. It's basically sprints. And then we have something called bets, which is like whenever someone comes up with a feature suggestion, we write up a bet which contains certain information, and then we select bets before each cycle. So I wrote up a bet on how to manage saving and hot reloading of code, which is actually super exciting because we can do some really cool stuff in Code Sandbox, which really improves the developer experience. So I'm super excited to show you that when we get it in. It won't be in for at least another cycle, but yeah, at least it's there. It's on the betting table, as we say. And yeah, really looking forward to that. Okay, we want to have like a back button up left, I guess, up in the corner. So we have to do something like the button. And how did we organize this? We had a floating button. Maybe we should have, yeah, this is a floating button, which is at border radius. And did we put a color on this? No, we just said floating button, and then floating button. Where are we using you? Here we are. Add backlog item, and then we set the color and stuff here. Yeah, I guess we can reuse that. Let's try that. Okay, so let's continue with our little convention here. Back button. Compose. Floating button. Oh, I love this auto import thing. It's really cool. And what we want is for that button to be on the. How do we do it on the other one? We said one. Oh, did I do rem here? I think we do have. Oh, is there like a token thing for position? Let's see, stitches. GitHub stitches. I thought we had like token thing for, let's see. Oh, I spent so much time writing this stuff up. Let's see. Maps tokens to properties. We have sizes. Oh, I guess it's space, I think. Let's see. No, it's not space. I thought that mapped to top left and bottom as well, but I guess it doesn't do that. Shouldn't it do that? That's interesting. Because it's a spacing. Yeah, we should check that. Let's see, let me write it down. Check stitches, bottom right tokens. Okay, anyways, let's just type it in for now. So we want the top to be 1 rem, want the left to be 1 rem, and then we want, I guess we don't want a background color here, but we can set a color. Yeah, we need to change the name of these tokens, but we can, I'll rather do that when we actually do introduce theming at some point, because then you'll also see like how TypeScript helps you refactor code. Cool. Yes, let's find an icon for this thing. So first of all, we need like our button. I guess we can introduce another container here, which we can to manage like yeah, and I wonder if it should be like centered. Maybe we should use like the screen container here. Let's try that. Because then it's centered, and then screen container. Oh, my brain is definitely not up to speed today. We want to create this button. Let's just add it first, and then we'll move it later. Class name, styles, back button. And then we need to find an icon, FA. Oh shit, they even come up here. That's awesome. Arrow. Oh, look at this. This is what, yes. I love this. FA, arrow left. Let's try that. Yeah, and like every time now it kind of refreshes the page, which is not ideal. That's also like a bad flow of development, is when you have to kind of move back into the state. And did I turn off? Let's see. Did I really turn it completely off? No, we do have preview on edit. So we should really get... Yeah, we're getting it now. So when I say we have hot reloading, which is exactly what we want. So we don't have to move back into the state again. Okay, that button was a little bit big. We really don't want a background color. Oh, CSS background color. We want that to be transparent. Ah, yeah, this is interesting. I wonder why it does a full refresh when I change this stuff, but not when I change this stuff. I'm going to ask someone about that. Hot reload does not work outside component. Because when we do React, we have fast, is it called fast refresh? So we have that integrated, but maybe that depends on the logic being inside. Let's try that. Let's try this. So I'm just for fun, I'm going to do this, and let's remove the transparent thing again. And then we'll move in here, and then I'll add it back. Oops. Background color. Transparent. Oh, it's because it's giving an error there, I guess. So as I was, okay, let's try one more thing. I just want to figure this out. I'm getting like super obsessed with the developer experience on Code Sandbox doing this stream, which is a good thing. Let's see, let's say that. And then I move into this state, and then I'll make sure I don't produce any errors. So I just paste it, and then it worked. this is interesting. So if I produce an error like this, and then back, no, now it was able to pick up. Okay, I do. Let's see. Okay, let's try to compose. Oh, sorry. Background color. Ah, there we are. For some reason, it refreshed at this point. Okay, I'm going to check this. This is stuff you typically don't pick up on, but I'm so focused on making this stuff work now smoothly. So there's definitely something weird going on there. So I guess when I ran this, yeah, so I ran this and then that actually throws an error. And when that throws an error, it seems to refresh for some reason. Okay, but anyways, I'll look into that. What's going to be better with the new hot reloading logic on CodeSandbox is that you can actually save and trigger a hot reload instead of being dependent on it happening on a debounce on your keys, which would have fixed this problem, for example. Anyways, cool. So we have to move back here. We don't want a border here either. Like, it's amazing how we can spend like a whole session just doing a little bit of styling of a button. That's crazy. Okay, and then we have the shadow there. I don't know, it looks a little bit weird. Box shadow, is it none? I think. Yeah, now we got this thing again. Oh, this is so annoying. Maybe we should turn off the... Yeah, but let's turn this off. Okay. Yeah, and I'm going to ask about one more thing. Because an error is thrown on the code, auto reload on save. Cool. Okay, we have our button and we want to change the screen again. So let's do that. Oops, in our add backlog. On click. We want to, let's see, actions, use actions. And we want to say actions, pop, 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 open screen. And in this case, we want to go home. So let's move here and then move back, and it's happy. Awesome. Now we can move between the two different screens. Let's see, what else should we do? Maybe we can introduce like the container that should contain stuff. We won't have time to implement all the text area and stuff because I have to prepare for them for a meeting. Or maybe we should just stop there. Okay, so what did we do here? Yeah, I just to summarize, I messed up a little bit when because I actually had the wrong state here. I was so focused on what was happening down here. So when we install the latest version to fix the typing, it might already have worked. Yes, and maybe it even did work. We just used the wrong state. So the typing was actually working, but the typing is better now for sure. It's way more explicit. So that's good. And then we got into some updating the, changing the page. So we're doing that with just a generic open screen action that transitions into the given page, where we might have to do a switch statement here instead to do different logic when we open the different pages. Things like maybe we want to empty some content or something. Or maybe we'll rather do that on X. That's kind of cool. So here we can, the switch statements doesn't only tell us what page we're transitioning to or screen we're transitioning to, we can also define what should happen when we transition out of that screen for some reason, which is cool. Yes. And then we got stuck in focusing on like Code Sandbox. Like this, the core experience is how these two windows play together, the preview and the code. And I'm super dedicated to give that like a revamp. And as I mentioned, we already have something that we're going to implement to improve this. So I'm super excited about that. But yeah, I'm going to check if we can do something just to fix the hot reloading so that we can do that when we save, because we can't work like this. We can't jump back and forth on the state, and we have to authenticate every time it refreshes and stuff. That's not good. So I'll see if I can do something about that. Yes, I guess that's it. Next time we'll actually implement the UI of this page, and hopefully we'll get to a point where we can actually add an item from the UI. So that's going to be nice. Okay, great. Thanks for following along. Please comment if you have any questions or suggestions, or think we should do things differently. And I'll talk to you tomorrow, which is Friday. And yeah, have a great day. Bye bye.